Okay, hello everyone. So you hear me clearly? In the last video, we had learned about how to wrap, drop, move, or clone a component. Today, I will talk about, as I said that in here, we will learn about Cronjob. So let's move on in the boss. Yeah, in this spot, I will talk about how to create cron job, and what is cron job, and why do we need to use cron job, and how to create cron job. After that, we will have an exercise to create cron job to export the order data into CSV file. Okay, let's go. Firstly, what is a cron job? SAP Commerce provides a means to set up regular tasks. With these tasks or cron job, you can repeatedly perform complex business logic at a particular times and intervals. Yeah. So, why do we need to use cron job? You may want to perform an inventory every Sunday at midnight, for example, or notify the web administrator of the peak load on the server every hour, or you can achieve this through a combination of dedicated classes for business logic and embed Cronjob management functionality of SAP Commerce. Yeah, so basically you just know that Cronjob is a job help us to do in the background on the server at at a several time at interval time, particular time in the day, for example, or in a gap of time you want to do a job, yeah day by day or month by month. Yeah. Okay, let's move on into the how to create cron job. um, we will do an exercise by following this step below. Our exercise is we want to export the order data into the CSV file, then store it into the media type to download and export at every midnight. Yeah. The export this cron job run every midnight. Yeah. So step one, we need to create a cron job model in the order to transfer the data as an input output request to perform the task. If we don't need to input the data, we can ignore this step and use the Cronjob model from OOTP. Yeah, from OOTP. We don't need to generate the Cronjob model to custom to input our data. Yeah. In our case, we need to input a date to export the data, and the output is the CSV file to the download. Okay. So you see the implementation, we need to create item type that is then the Cronjob model. As I said here, this is Cronjob model. In case we don't have to input any custom request, we can use the Cronjob model. We don't need to create an item type like this. Yeah, but in our case, we need to input the date to export the data. For example, I want to input the day today or last day or specific day, like example. For example, we want to input in the 7th of February. Okay, you can input a specific day, and we want to export all the order data in in this day. Okay, so by this case we can input specific day into our cron job. Okay, so you see this is the item type. We have the day export, okay, and we have the export media for the output the data, okay, and it have the type a Java until date for the day export, and the media collection for is used to store the data for the output at the CSV file. Okay, and with the modifier you see write true, read true, or search true. What does it mean? Write true for allow to write input data, and read for read data, and search for search true. That means we can search in search for this the data output input. Yeah, I will talk more detail about these attributes later in the next video about the item types XML. Yeah, about this attribute in the item type. Okay, let's move on into step 2, build an end to generate the Cronjob model. Okay, I will talk all of step first, and then I will move on into the Intellij to the demo for you guys see. Okay, build and own to generate the Cronjob model. Step 3, create DAO and serve it to get the order data by date. Okay, we need to create a DAO to query all the data and respond to the result to the service layer. Okay, we will have the two interfaces, one for the DAO and one for the service layer. And then we also have two Java classes that implement the two interface above. Yeah, we have the two interface, and then we also need to have the two Java classes to implement these interface. And here they will have the implement. HL stand for the hybrid learning. Yeah, I just put for our project which we create project name. Okay, HL just stand for the hybrid learning. Okay, below is code implemented in a hybrid access data DL implement class. Okay, you can see I will explain later. I will explain this lab code later in Intellij. Okay, and below is a hybrid access data service implement class. In here is implement a hybrid access data service. Okay, and step 4, we need to register these two implemented class into the Spring Bean context. Okay, and how to register it? We just define in the element called spring.xml. Okay, I define like this, colon. Okay, step 5. Step 5, we will create the job. Yeah, the job that means it look like the instance for our task. Look like the instance. This job help us to work on our tasks. We can input the data based on, and based on this job class we can execute our task. Okay, so how does this look like? It will have the perform method to help us to do our task. In this class we will do our task. Firstly, I will check the data from input. In our case, either they export, okay, from input. we will have the dashboard we see. Yeah. And next step, we try to process query data by the inputted date. Okay. Step 3, we will process query data into the CSV file. Yeah. Based on step 2, we will have the orders data, and then we will use this orders data, and we will generate a CSV file in step 3. And in the step 4, we need to process to save data into the media collection field. Okay, that's all for the Cronjob. For the shop class. I will show all of this method in the next step. Step 6, we need to register the job into Spring Bean context, which has the parent is object performable. You see, this is our class. Yeah, Hybris order export job. This class create from here. Yeah, and it have a parent is object performable, right? Step 7, we build and own, and then Hybris server bot to start the server. Step 8, after the server started, we need to update the system in HAC. Why do we need to do this? Because we just create a new item type. In our case is step 1. Yeah, we create new item type, so that's why we need to update the system to generate the item type. It just generate item type and then generate a database first, and then we will verify the job had existed or not. Okay. To verify whether the job Spring ID is registered into the service layer job by flexible search. You will see, as usually when we create this job, and we extend the abstract job performable when we build the system, it will have automatically register the bin, this bin, into the service layer job, so we can query and we will see this result. In case if you don't see any result from this query, we need to execute the following impact. What the following impact mean? It means it help us to register our job class, our Spring ID class here, bin ID, into service layer job. You see, service layer job. The code is Hybris learning order export job, and the Spring ID is as usually we need to set the same name for the code and the Spring ID. Okay. In step 9, we create an instance of our job and create a trigger job by the impact or back office. What does it mean? In this step, we need to create an instance for our task. In this case, for our job, our Cronjob. And you see, our Cronjob is Hybris order export Cronjob item type, which we created in step 1. And then we create trigger to run. in here I just demo by the create the Cronjob by the impact. In case you want to create in the back office, it's really easy. Yeah, I will show you later. Step 1, we test Cronjob by input the data, and without input the data, what and what happening. Okay, let's go. I will roll back in step 1. Firstly, create item type for Hybris order export Cronjob with the two attributes they export and export media. Just copy this one, copy this, you can here, copy this one and go into because I implement it for not spend much time for the video. You see, I put it into the tile roof. This tile roof for apparel side. Yeah, apparel. Because I'm working on apparel side, so I put our item type into the apparel. To here, you see, we have a Hybris learning order export Cronjob. Yeah, this class. In this class, we have two attributes: the export with the type date and export media with the type media collection. This the type from OOTP is provided by SAP platform. Alright, this is step 1. In step 2, build and own to generate the Cronjob model. For this one, we go into the platform folder in our project. In my case, I'm use the server for the version 1905. You see, I go into the Hybris, bin, and platform. Open CMD in here. Yeah, and from here we can run it and on to generate for the item type model. In my case, I run already, so it existed. Existing. Can copy this one and search for you see. Yeah, it existed. Or you can search this time more model. Okay, it existed, right? And so after you run and on, and then you refresh this folder, platform folder, you can search Hybris order export Cronjob model. Alright, that's the done for the step 2. Alright, step 3, we need to create a DAO service to get the order data by date. Okay, this service includes the DAO, data access object. Firstly, we need to define the two interface. One interface, you see I'm standing in the Hybris learning core. You can work on this, or you can for our service, I recommend it. We have to create service in the core project. Firstly, the DAO. In here we have the interface. You see, Hybris access data DAO, understand the DAO OTP. You see, this here DAO. Yeah, and next we also create the order interface for the service. Yeah, in here you can see it have the same method name and also same response type for the list or the model. Okay, and with the input parameter here date. Now we have done for the two service, two interface. Okay, next we have to create two implement classes for these two interface. The first classes is for the DAO. Okay, this Hybris access data DAO implement class we have here. We put in the implement folder, and in implement folder we create a class. For example, we can new Java class, and this I create already, and we need to implement the Hybris access data DAO. Alright. Hybris access data DAO. After implement it, we have to override the method. This method is from the interface, you see. Yeah, you see, this is the interface. Sorry. This is from the interface. Yeah, get all the data by the from interface. All right. What are we doing in this DL implement? Okay. Firstly, we need to create a query. This query is select query from order. This is for the order data pk, or to get the total pk. Just get pk. Yeah, remember that. Just get pk. And from order, or you can try to execute this query from the console, SAC console. Before we execute it by open SAC console from here, from the flexible source. Okay, we can copy this one, right, and put into here. PK for the specific PK, and order for the order model. Modify time for the time, modify the order data between start day and end of the day. As usually we have the format display like this. I will check what the order we are having. For example, I will get this order data from this day, and then I will move on into the modify time, the last modify time from administration tab. Okay, just time modify. Yeah, modify time. You see, I can copy this one. Okay, copy this one and go into here, but it maybe it will not understand. From I will try. It start from 0, right? 0. PM. We don't need to the PM. All right. On the 12th of July 2022, and then we modify this one a little bit between 0 hour and 73 59 and also 59, maybe 0 0. Okay, we don't need the PM here. Try to execute it. Maybe I have to copy this one and log in again. Let's say it have the error. We can what basically you can see in the store in the back office with this the format, but in the query we the system doesn't understand. From here we have to modify a bit. June, right? And 12, and this also. Copy this one. Okay, scale it. Let's see the result. You see, there are a bunch of the result from here. Just copy one of them. What does it mean? When I execute this query, it will get all a PK data from the other model, where modified time between 0 hour to 23 hour of 12 July. Yeah. So after we have the results, you can verify again by copy the PK and go into the back office. In here we can search by the PK like this. You see PK with this one in here. Yeah, PK, paste the data and search. What I'm wrong here? Mình day. You see this no. You can see the day. You see the last modified time in 2022 June 12, right? Correct, right? So you know, with a flexible search we can make sure our query in the code is work correct or not, right? Next, you see, with a simple data format, we need to use this format for the query data system. Keep in mind, this is a format for the data system in our code. Okay. In a flexible search, I will input the data for the start time of day and end time of day. We see start time of day, end time of day. With the day input, for example, the day input is at 19 p.m. But we need to know convert it for we only get the date, and then we get the start time and end time of this day by this function. Okay, at start time I get this code, and end time I create this code, right? After the search result, we get the check the result null or not. If it different null, we can get the result, and this result have the response time list of the other model. Okay, that's it for the hybrid asset data DAO classes. Next, we need to create the code for the hybrid asset data service implement class. This one, we have this service, and then we need to create service implement. This class implement the hybrid asset data service from here, and just you can see we just inject the DAO data DAO and use this the DAO to get the data for response on this class. Okay, that's all for step 3. Step 4, we need to register these two element classes into Spring Bean context. I'll go into this file, copy this one, okay, and go to search. Press enter. In here I define ready for the hybrid store DAO. You see the DAO here. DAO I set for the alias, and from the service we just use the alias. You see this alias will be used in the service implement. You see hybrid access data DAO will be used in here. Remember this. We need to get exactly the name from this alias. Okay, and the service, you see, this service here. Register this bin into the service, and then we will use this service define bin ID into this job. After we restore this one, you see, we move on in step 5. In the step 5, we have to create a hybrid order export job class in here. Sorry, I have scored. In firstly, we create a new class from this folder, and then we extend the abstract from Merple. In here, we put our item type, our custom item type for Cronjob model. In our case, the Hybris learning order export Cronjob model. You see, this model will be used in the perform result in the perform class in the perform method. By this one we can get the date of export, date export. What does it mean? This is the input data. In case the user not input the data, we can give some log from here, and then we set the date export. Why I do that? Because the Cronjob model I want to export the data of order at midnight. So when this job is queued, it will export the current day data every at midnight run, and it will skew to query all of order data at that day, and then store into CSV file. Okay. In case we want export the data in a specific day, in here, for example, we want to export the data for on the 7th of February. We just input into this field, and in that case it not run into this this condition. Firstly, for step 1 and second, we will process query data by inputted date. Okay. You see, we will use the service which we create before to execute, and we get the date, the order data by the date. Yeah, this they get from the hybrid order export model, get from here, from the input from here. And then we will get the order. Next one, after we have the orders data, we can generate the CSV file. Firstly, I want to create the CSV file name by this one, and then I will append the date from the input data. In my case here, there is export. Okay, for example, we want to export the data for the current day for the 26th, right? And then we append the day after here. Next, we will generate the CSV file, this function. I will talk basically of this function. This function we have to get to loop into the order data, and then we input the allowed name in here. You see, firstly the file name, and we will check this file name into the system property. This is some temporary folder we can store the CSV file before we upload into the data system. Okay, you can store into here. This is a specific directory, config directory. In my case, I set it in the. You can search it in the configuration. In the output directory. Output directory append with the file name, and then we'll have the full file path. Okay, we need to check the output directory whether existed. If not, we have to create a folder. Yeah, the folder for we can search this one. You can see. In my case here, is from the configuration hybrid temporary directory. Yeah, it's from configuration property file. So this one from property file, you can see this have the value hybrid temporary directory. And that's how do we know where is it? Just copy this one and just continue to search. You can see in the property, you can see the configuration. It is from the platform home. In our case, platform home is under bin platform. You see bin platform in here, and next you can see it is back into to location, to directory, and go to the temp and Hybris. You just back to location. You see 1 and 2. Okay, you go to temp, temporary, and hybrid folder. You can see this is a location of the temp Java IO temp directory. Okay, you can see it here. Check whether existed the directory. If create directory, if this directory have not existed. Next one, we can generate the CSV file with the bot from here, and we create this one. And next, we will generate the header for our file in this case I write a header from here. We are using the file writer to write the CSV file. You see, file, we create new file, and from here we use file writer input our file with the standard JSS in UTF-8, okay, UTF-8, and we can write this code try and catch from here. It helps us to auto close the writer. Firstly, we need to write header. Let's see what our header. In my case, I write the header for the code, the user ID, and the total price, and modify time. So totally we have 4 columns. In case you want to more detail or more information in your CSV file, you can add more the data from the orders. So after write header, we can look into the orders data. Okay, in each order we can get a code. Okay, we can get the user ID, and then we can get the total price, and then we can last modify time. Okay, because CSV file use the comma, use the comma to delimiter, so I create a constant here for the delimiter, a comma. Okay, so and the last one for the line separator. That means every loop we have the last one for the line separator. Line separator is just a line break. Use this one. Okay. You see, after run all of data, we can return the CSV file from here. Right. Awesome. So that's all for the generate CSV file method. Next one, after we have the file, we need to save this file into our media collection. So what will we do in this method? Save data. First one, we need to get the metadata from the whether it exists in our database. Okay? By the file name. Yeah, as we create the media by the file name, we can check get the meta model. If it's none, we can create a new one. Okay. In the other case, we can continue use this model to override the data from the file. Okay. In case we have to create a new data, we can see we can use the model service to create a meta model. And in this meta model, we can set the code. The code need a unique key help us to query the data. This code I set by the file name, and next I will real file name. So the same for the code. I set the mean type for the text /CSV. For the Excel file, we can use this mean type for the Excel file. And the last one, we can save the media model. Yeah, just this you can imagine we just create a metadata for the CSV file. After that, we will use the input stream to store the file. Yeah, the CSV file into the input stream, and we will use this input stream to store into the media service, media model. We use the service from media service to store the input stream. Okay. The last slide, we can save the media model. Okay, after it have to new the data from the order data. Next, This step we just save the media into the media database, media model. The next step we need to store this file into our collection, our media collection from here. Yeah, we need to store the recent save file into the export media. Yeah, we get existing media for media data from our job, get existing, and then we create new list for the media model. If the existing media is not empty, we can add on the media into here, and next one we will add the recent, the new file from step 1. Yeah, the last one we will set the new data for the export media. Okay, you see, that's all for the first step. Back into here, that's it, done for step 5. Step 6, you need to register the job into Spring Bean. Spring Bean, we open the here, Spring here, register the job. This is our job. Yeah, class point to here, you see, point this class. Yeah, this class point to our class. Just remember, set a correct name. You can try by press Ctrl and click here, jump into this class, it is correct. Right, and parent is abstract performable and ID from here. That's it for the step 6. Step 7, and on and to build and start the server. You just open the platform folder. Just open platform for and on, press enter, and after and on run build successfully, we can start server by this command Hybris. So, but in my case, I build on thing and I start server already. So I will open the step A. After server started, update the system in SAC. In here you go to SAC, we log in into this console and go into the update. Next one, because we are working only in this project, Hybris Learning Core, so we only need to update the system on this core. Just press Ctrl F and search into the Hybris Learning Core. Right, in here, tick on this one. Remember that we need to untick on the localize and create central data for reduce the time to update the system, because we only need update to load our item type, and then click on update here. I update already, so I don't need to run again. That's all for step update the system in HAC. After the update successfully, we will verify the job had existed by copy this one, Ctrl C, and go into the flexible search by paste into here and scale it. Okay, let's see the search result. As you can see, there it existed. Okay, for the PK and P code. You see, in the case you don't see the result, we need to run this impact to register our job into the service layer. Okay, after you run this one, copy this one, you can copy this one. Okay, copy this one and go into the impact import, paste into here and import content, click on into here. Okay, after click and run successfully, you can verify again by going to the flexible search and copy this one and skill again. Alright, skill again to see the result. Step 9, create an instance of all Cronjob and create trigger job by impact or back office. In my case, in my server, I run this one already. Now I will explain a little bit in this impact. I will copy this one, go into the here, right? I will explain a little bit. This for our Cronjob item type. You can set this any name you want, any ID you want, but only keep it unique. You see, I will press here, same line for the code, right? And the job, what the job? The job for the hybrid order export job, which we just create in the reverse step. Okay, you see, the job is hybrid order export job. Remember, it have to exactly with the Spring ID or the code from here. Yeah, we have exactly with this one. Single SQL table just set to phone and session language is English. Okay. The next is for the trigger. For the trigger help us to execute the job at the time we want. Firstly, Cronjob, it have to map with this code, right? You see this code. For example, if you modify this one into the temp, we also have to update this one into the temp, right? Next one for the cron expression, it helps us to define the temp. In my case, our cron job is skilled at every midnight, so I set it run at the 23 hour, 23 hour and 59 minutes at 0 second. Okay, every day, yeah, every day. You can cron this by online tool, something online tool like this, cron time converter. Yeah, so this, yeah, you see, you can use this tool to generate your cron job. For example, second, minutes, hour, day, month, year. You can see this is at 0 minutes, at 0 hour, at 0 day, every day, month, every month, year, every year. So you will have this is the result. Copy this one and paste into here, right? Now after we execute this impact, you can verify whether it exists the cron job by going to the back office and type cron job, right? Click here and now we search by the key here. You can copy this one paste into here and search. You see it's already existed because I skill this impact already, and I run some tests in my local environment. So you see this is the Cronjob run skill by impact, right? I'm on step 10 for the verify Cronjob. Okay, or you can create the other job by here. You see I will create different job by back office. From here we can click Cronjob and navigate to our custom Cronjob model. In my case, hybrid learning, right? Hybrid learning. Sorry. You see, you can see hybrid learning order is for Cronjob. We can click here to generate a new ones. You can put any name. This is look like the code for your Cronjob. You just create, for example, a test. Leave empty here. You don't need to navigate. Log level database file count. The important thing here, we need to set the code, any code you want. For example, test Cronjob, right? And then we will use the job definition. You can search code by job definition in here. Our code is Hybris learning order export job. Copy this one, put into here, search this one, select it. Okay, you see, and then we will set a done. Right now we have the new job created by back office. From here we will set the trigger task. Run at, okay, this is run at administrator server and time schedule. I will copy the cron time from here. I'll copy this one. In here you see we can create a new trigger, push into here, done. Yeah, now we have a trigger time. It will run every midnight. You can save it. Alright, now for example we want to execute to get the data for as we execute from no, just go to Cronjob first, search. Remove this one. You see there are a bunch of Cronjob, and we will push our code into here, test. You see test that Cronjob. It never execute. Yes, you can see that result in NA. Yeah. Now firstly I will input the date report data in here. Yeah, I want to export for the 12 at we see 12 July right here. Click here. Right now I will save it. And scale it. Yes. Let it refresh. It's running, right? Oh, it have error and abort it. What's happening? What happening? Let's see the log. This is log file. You see this the because there is no existed for this file. It will when we create a file name for this one and it's not existed, so it will generate error through exception. You can see save data for the line 68. Check this one. 68. You see it have the exception right here. So basically we judge at the child cat from here, to make sure that it not existed file. Wait a bit, let's see. I will set a child cat here. We can get exactly the true exception from here. Unknown identify exception, and copy this one and use in our code. Yeah. In this case we need to generate a new file. Yeah, copy this one. We can write some block here. Info fry not existed, right? Can input the file name, file name. Yeah, and in this model we can use this more media model equal. Now we copy this one, go into here. Yes, media model. No. Let's see. Alright, I think we will have not need to extract here, just remove this one. Yeah, so After exception happening for the file not existing, we will generate a new file for media model under the cache. The cache will generate a new file and save it into the database, right? Awesome. So I think that is perfect. Don't don't care about the node, because if it cannot the query the media file for our case, it can run into this one, jump into exception, file not existed, right? And then we continue. So after that I will build again. Alright, in this case I will skip for the time running, the time building, right? Back to the previous job for this one. I will copy this one to search into the job or I run before. Just to this one. This file I test for the, you see there are 1 2 3 files for the 3 5 3 of May 2022. Yeah, so now I will execute again because this file is existing. Don't worry about we cannot execute. I will run the job. Yes, I execute again. Very fast. It is processing. Yeah, it's run successfully. Now we can see the new file is generating. Yeah, the new file will append into the last one. You can check this one by double click and download the file, and you can see open. Awesome, right? There are total seven items, and then you can verify again by run execute the query from here. Yeah, you can execute this query to check whether there are the sixth item, sixth result. Yeah. Twenty through and 05 and 03 and 0 and 0, and I will copy this one and 23 59 and 0. Okay, and then I will execute. See the result. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Awesome, there are total 6 entry. Okay, nice. because I have to stop the server to build again, to see the different results from our updated code into here. So this is your task, your exercise. That's all for the how to Cronjob and how to generate a CSV, how to generate the CSV file, store into many file, also the query data, right? Good job. Thank you for your concentration. If this spot is useful, please share and give me the heads up here. Click here in this post. Yeah, your action is a huge motivation for me to create a new post in the next time. In the next post, I think we will learn about the important part in the item XML file. Yeah, thank you for your time. Please share, subscribe my channel to motivate me in the next future, and also get the notification when I have a new published video. Thank you and see ya.